Welcome to the overview of developers integrations for SlimCD APIs. SlimCD has been around since 2001. We support credit card processing, gateway services, shopping carts, and integrated solutions. And today we're going to focus on the integrated solutions. Of course, we support credit, debit, gift, POS checks, even EMV cards. Our integration options include direct connections where your server connects to ours, hosted payment pages which are controlled by secure sessions. The hosted JavaScript solution allows you to put a page on your website that you control under your webmaster's design, but it keeps you out of scope for PCI. Of course, you can launch our apps, and we have a variety of EMV tools as well. So we support credit, debit, EMV chip cards, gift cards, electronic checks, and paper checks, all through the same API. Support a variety of industries: retail, restaurant, a mail order, e-commerce, lodging, auto rental. Most of the focus will be on the retail and the mail order or the e-commerce, but we do support those other industries as well. A lot of transaction types to do all the things that you might need to do as you're processing credit card transactions depending on your industry. You can do direct connection posts to the SlimCD web services yourself. You can post over XML or JSON, and we've wrapped each of those posts for all of our entry points in libraries that expose properties of objects. So if you're a .NET programmer, PHP, or even in JavaScript, you can simply access these functions. Then you set properties, call the entry point, and you receive a reply back with the properties of the reply all parsed out for you. We also have the same thing for Java and Objective-C if you are a mobile developer. Hosted payment pages allow a page to be created on the SlimCD website that keeps you completely out of scope for PCI for all the data entered on that page. This does leave your website, come to the SlimCD website where the data is entered, and then returns back to your website, or it can be used for a donation page and things like that. We have a whole presentation on the hosted payment pages that gets into the details of it, but these pages can be customized. The graphics design an element. You can add your own fields to the form. You can preload it with specific customer data for a given session, such as the amount they're supposed to pay. You could use it as a donation page for a multi-use session, and again, it returns back to the developer's entry point when it's done processing the payment page, and you can also send emails to merchants. Another thing that's unique about our hosted payment pages, they can be used in POS systems as well. So we offer a hosted JavaScript solution that I touched on before. So in this case, the end user enters card data on their browser, and that data gets translated into a token. That the token will be replaced inside the HTML instead of the card number and sent to your server as a token. This keeps you out of scope, but lets your developer completely control all of the functionality of the hosted payment, of the page itself, the look and feel, CSS, JavaScript, whatever else you want to put in there. And once you get the token back, then you use one of our direct API calls to charge the token instead of the card number. If you launch our apps, mainly for point-of-sale systems, it's similar to how the hosted payment pages work, except you're communicating through one of our desktop iOS or Android apps. Our app will pop up, process the transaction, and return back to the caller. For the semi-integrated hardware, for those of you interested in chip readers, we have the Augusta, which is a fantastic device that replaces regular MSR card swipes that run through keyboard emulation. Instead, you can unplug the keyboard emulation card reader, plug in an Augusta, and now you can get either swiped or dipped inserted chip card transactions. And we can support a full line of Verifone and Ingenico pin pads through DLLs that run on POS systems using .NET. Alternatively, anything that can do an internet connection, web, mobile, PC, can use our EMV link, and a small white box you see on the right will connect the pin pad and make it part of slimcd.com, and then a simple web service call, the same way you do a direct connection to our payment gateway. If you have a card number, you do a slightly different connection, same format, to the EMV link, and it will run the whole transaction, run the whole pin pad for you, keeping you completely out of scope for PCI. So all of our transactions support encryption. If the hardware does the encryption, we'll which all of our hardware can do, we will encrypt the data inside the hardware and send that to us. Every transaction returns a token that can be used for voids, credits, or to even charge cards on file. All this information is contained in the SlimCD's developer website. It's got a variety of documentation there on letting you investigate all of our options, evaluate which one's best for you, give you some implementation guidelines, and finally a full reference of all the APIs. And we have APIs for all purposes. As you can see, here's a list of many of the API entry points. You can send transactions, close batches. All of the secure sessions that control the hosted payment pages are in here, again through libraries or direct API calls. You can retrieve reports, so you can do reconciliation, upload and download signatures. You can even retrieve or email receipts. As I've mentioned, all of these entry points also have their functionality duplicated in libraries that provide objects, and each object has a property, so you can say object.cardNumber instead of creating XML or JSON. Although the XML JSON is available, many developers find this an easier way because we do the posting and the parsing of the response for you. Lots of free samples to download that are included royalty-free in your code. They're all available on our download page and many different languages. There's even zip files that have full SDK documentation in the traditional fashion for point-of-sale developers or web developers. And inside those zip files, you'll find other languages that maybe aren't as common anymore, FoxPro and some other things like that. All that's available in there, Cold Fusion, etc. In the Web Developers Kit and the PAWS Developers Kit, you'll find C++ and some other examples as well, and including the Secure Sessions, which is the hosted payment page sample, and how to launch our app. So all that is available on our download page, and that gives you a brief overview of a lot of the information available from SlimCD, a lot of the methods you can use when you're looking to integrate with SlimCD, and all these are available from our developers website as well as our download page, including the zip files, documentation, sample programs, and the libraries that you can include in your own programs. Thank you for watching this presentation of the overview of the SlimCD integration options.